Hello everyone, myself Harmeet Sani, Register Migration Agent CECA Melbourne. Today I'm going to discuss Employer Nomination Visa Subclass 482 under Age Care stream. So we are going to discuss Age Care Labor Agreement and Visa Subclass 482, the requirements and skill assessments. So all the uh, visa application criteria under this subclass. So let's begin. Let's start with what is the age or disability care. Uh, the main role for age carer applicants are it's mainly focused on supporting independence and quality of life for elderly disabled clients, often in setting where ongoing trust and rapport with clients is critical. So these sort of setting mainly come under home care, community programs, or residential facilities which provide household assistance, emotional supports, and companionship, including the mobility support, personal hygiene and dressing, meal preparation, social and community activities, and of course, housekeeping and errand activities. So, main purpose of this visa subclass is to address shortage of aged and disabled carer in Australia. The visa subclass we are going to discuss is 482 skill in demand under age care stream. So occupation and JESCO code for this subclass is 423111, uh, which comes under age care industry labor agreement ACILA. So this visa is mainly designed to fill Australia critical shortage of carer through the Aged Care Industry Labor Agreement, which provides both temporary work rights and a clear pathway to permanent residency. So let's start with what is Aged Care Industry Labor Agreement. So the labor agreement under this aged care industry is that's the partnership between the approved aged care providers and Australian government, which allow employers to recruit overseas carer if Australians are unavailable. Australians mainly in terms of Australian citizens and Australian permanent residents, uh, or even eligible New Zealand citizens as well. So the main requirements for labor agreement is first of all, whoever the provider is, the aged care industry, they requires memorandum of understanding, which is called MOU. Uh, they have to sign this memorandum with relative union. The union could be the United Worker Union, Health Service Union, Australian Nursing Midwifery Federation. So this MOU also cover labor market testing and negotiate the different stages. For example, the English language uh, and negotiation comes under. Second thing is one is English language, another is Tasmit, uh, which is called salary. So which ensuring employers first exhaust all options to fill vacancies locally before hiring from overseas market. So the main benefit and concession for aged or disabled care 482 visa is the benefits are it's a 2 year pathway to PR. So when you get this visa, so after 2 years, after grant of this visa, the applicant can transit to permanent residency under subclass 186. Another advantage is priority processing for the applications. Uh, no past qualification work experience required for no post qualification work experience required for 482. It means while you gaining your qualification or even during the qualification or after qualification anytime, uh, when you gain experience in such industry, so all valid under subclass 482. uh, Second thing is English concession. So as you know, the IELTS requirement for normal subclass 482 visa is 5 each at least, but under labor agreement stream, for aged care worker, there is a concession. So they require 5 each in speaking and listening, and concession is 4.5. They can go for reading and writing. So uh, some labor agreement also got concession under 4.5 overall, no band minimum requirement as well. Another concession in terms of Tasmit, so salary which is raised from usually raised from every July onwards each financial year, and it's also increased to this year 76,515, but under labor agreement stream. So salary threshold concession, it remains below up to 51 222, which is reduced Tasmits required for this subclass. So this salary threshold concession is significant as it remains below July 1 increase for other labor agreements, making recoupment financially more feasible for aged care providers. So these are the main benefits under this subclass. Next stage is in order to fulfill the requirements of this visa subclass, applicant may require to go under skill assessment criteria, and skill assessment authority for such uh, applicants under this stream is ACWA, which is Australian Community Worker Association. They have certain requirements to go under uh, this labor agreement to assess aged care workers uh, to qualify for this visa subclass. But the good news is if you have qualification from Australia, which is usually certificate 3 level in aged care industry, uh, so you don't need to go for this skill assessment. But if you don't have Australian qualification, or you qualified from overseas, then certainly you have to go for skill assessment through ACWA. So ACWA have some requirements, the eligibility criteria uh, to assess such applicants, that based upon the first eligibility is relevant qualification. So as I said, main qualification is AQF certificate 3 or higher in aged care or disability care, inclusive of vocational placement. Second requirement is work experience. So you must have 12 months full-time or equivalent part-time work experience, which must be within the last 5 years. Second criteria is concurrency. So if you obtain the qualification within last 4 years, then you meet the concurrency requirement. Otherwise, if you're not holding the formal qualification, but if you have 12-month relevant work experience in this industry within the last 5 years, still meeting the concurrency requirement. So these are the only requirements from ACWA to give you positive skill assessment. So applicant who obtain their qualification in Australia, so they don't need this skill assessment. But those who have overseas qualification, and even if this qualification from Australian RTO, even located in offshore, still they have to go for this skill assessment. If you need to have more clarification on skill assessment criteria, you can still contact us. The contact number is provided on the screen. So what is the relevant qualification you must have for such occupation? That's mainly rely on. That's include you have to study on certificate level 3 in aged care, aging support, disability care, individual support, nursing, home and community care. And this qualification must cover some criteria like person-centered support, social inclusion and community participation, safe work participation, dementia, mental health care, and independence and well-being. And another important thing, so this qualification, it is must be more than 6 months of course duration. So less than 6 month course is not assessed by the relevant assessing authority. They not accept it. So, and this qualification must include relevant vocational placement as well during the program. So vocational placements must be in the aged care, disability, or healthcare setting, and be directly related to the role what you're going to study. And yeah, short online certificate or CPD courses are not acceptable. So any qualification obtained under this sector, that is eligible for the skill assessment under this stream. Another is relevant work experience, so which is the second major criteria for this assessment from ACQUA. So they assess the 12 month of experience that must be minimum 30 hour per week, or if it is full time. So but if it is part time, then they calculate on pro rata basis. So for example, yeah, you work for 2 years, then they calculate for 1 year, like that. um, so and duties must match ANJESCO 423111 description, which is the ANJESCO code for this occupation. And this work experience must be within the last 5 years, and that work experience must match some responsibilities, like uh, as I tell you, accompanying aged and disabled person during daily activities, assisting client with their mobilities, preparing food for the clients, arranging social activities, performing housekeeping tasks such as vacuum cleaning through the setting, assisting in personal hygiene and dressing, providing companionship, friendship, and emotional support, may do shopping and runarounds, may live in with the person. So all these responsibilities come under this stream, under this NGES. So relevant work must involve direct service provision, uh, like assisting with the personal care, mobility, and daily living activities, not the general household cleaning without personal care responsibilities. So they are not acceptable. So have to be with the direct care to the with the clients. So when you apply for with ACQUA, the major requirements, the document checklist for the skill assessment. The first thing they look for the identity documents. So under identity documents, the you must provide your passport bio pages and another two form of IDs, like your if you have driver license or birth certificate, you can provide. If you had changed name uh, anytime, uh, so you have to provide the name change evidence. Second, qualification. So your qualification documents, your certificate, your transcript or completion letter have to be provided, and also the proof of vocational placement, if applicable, if you have done during the course whatever placement. So usually they mention on your transcripts. Mm, for work experience documents, so your work reference letter from the employer, your CV, uh, you need to provide pay slips and bank statement confirming the pay slips, and employer reference letter must contain your job responsibilities, number of hours you worked, what salary you was taking, and from particular date to particular date how long you worked. So everything has to be mentioned. And most importantly, the reference letter must be signed by some responsible HR manager or owner of the institute. uh, Apart from this, if you having migration agent help, so you need to provide the agent authorization form as well. And if particular field of occupation which require licensing, like if you're working as an enrolled nurse or something like that, so if you have the professional registration, so need to provide that documents as well. Assessment fee is 595 for Aqua. So processing time usually 1 month to 2 months. It depends. So usually we can say approximately 4 weeks. It is very quick. So English competency is not required by Aqua, but it is required for the visa application. So we generally assume 4 week time frame if it is decision ready application. So but if there are some missing documents or unvariable work experience, so significantly it's delay the processing. Another, let's come to the next stage, which is called labor market testing. So most of the visa categories under subclass 482, they requires labor market testing. So the labor market testing, it is generally done through the agreement signing, the MOU, uh, during the negotiation process. So they are responsible to take the labor market testing and negotiation with the government, uh, which is a critical factor in getting approval for the labor agreement in future. So labor market testing generally, you have to show that you can't find any relevant Australian PR or Australian that must demonstrate staff reliance, because some aged care uh, companies, they hire staff from the recruitment agencies when they are shortage of staff. And another thing, they have to show that they train and upskill the existing worker, and still they are having the shortage of staff, so they have to mention all these things with the MOU and during the labor market testing process. This subclass is uh, the permanent in the role under subclass 482. So applicant can transit to a permanent residency in terms of subclass 186 visa. So there is no age concession under this visa. So you must be under 45 year of age when apply permanent residency. So English concession is there, yes. So IELTS band, usually it is required competent English for subclass 186, but under labor agreement stream, uh, and at least 2 year of work experience must be there, because it is under a TRT stream, so you can't apply uh, in the direct 186 category. So you have to go for TRT. So you have to remain on 482 visa first for 2 years after the visa grant, and then you can transit to subclass 186. Now, so what is the process? Let's discuss again. I explain everything a little bit. So the main criteria, let me going to explain it when we apply this visa subclass. So first step is check if you have qualification and work experience that meet AQUA requirements. So the qualification, as we discussed, must be at least AQF level 3 with certificate 3 in aged care or disability care, and work experience, at least 12 months of work experience in this industry. If you requirements, if you require skill assessment, so apply to AQUA. Pass the English test, which is mandatory for subclass 482, and then transition for subclass 186 as well. Concession I already discussed. When they lodge the nomination, then you'll be eligible to apply subclass 482. So the nomination and visa process can be simultaneously can be done, or if you have time, so you can wait for the nomination approval and then you can apply for the visa. But usually it is a very quick process compared to another visa subclass. So for the sponsor, so who's going to apply, so the process then they have to conduct labor market testing, which uh, have actually under labor market testing have to show that they're unable to find such uh, candidates, applicants under aged care stream. There's still shortage of staff and they try to recruit Australian citizen permanent resident, but still can't find the enough labor force in this sector. So that's how labor market testing is conducted. And then the Australian government, after doing signing MOU and labor market testing, then they apply nomination for the person they're going, they can apply for the visa. So that's how the process takes place. And when they keep the particular employer for 2 years on that visa, can help him to transit to PR after 2 years. So the